Welcome, readers. Today on Book Chat, we are talking about TV and movie adaptations that we have no plans on reading. We also share a few adaptations that we are excited about that we have read. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, I'm your host, Tamara Ford, and welcome to Book Chat here on the Shelf Addiction Podcast. Participate in this discussion by joining the Facebook group Shelf Addiction Official. I hope to hear your thoughts on today's topic. You can always find me and Casey on Twitter and Instagram. The links for everything I've mentioned are below in the show notes. If you enjoyed today's episode, please support this podcast by sharing it with some book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. That would really help me out, and I appreciate you for doing so. The uncut video version of this podcast is available now on Patreon. Join us there for exclusive videos, including after shows and more. So if you're interested in that at all, you'll need to come on over to Patreon and sign up. Without further ado, let's get started. We've got a lot to cover today, so we are going to jump right on. And joining me is feature co-host Casey from Heart Full of Ink. Welcome back, Casey.
Yay! I'm so happy to be here, as always.
Yes, I'm happy you're here because we always have a fabulous time.
We do.
Yes, and today we are going to mix it up. We haven't talked about this topic in a minute. It's been a while, so it's going to be a fun one. Yeah. So guys, today we are talking about upcoming TV and movie adaptations that we plan on watching, but have zero plans on reading.
Yes. It's a fun twist.
Yes, we are not reading the original material for whatever reason. And we might share those reasons here today. And if you've read it, feel free to comment and let us know what we're missing out on if we don't read it.
Yes, let us know.
Yeah. The thing is, honestly, so many books just get pushed to the wayside and then you forget about them, or you hear about them late and you've got so many things to read already. And then, at least for me anyway, then I hear, oh crap, they're making a movie. And I'm like, I don't have time. I'm not going to get to it.
I usually almost always want to try to read the book first, because watching the movie will definitely skew my opinion of the book. But sometimes I'm just like, this book doesn't sound good. I don't want to pick it up. Let's watch the movie instead.
Yeah. And sometimes what you don't know doesn't hurt you. If you never read the book, you don't know what you're missing. So it's fine.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's kick it off. We have quite a list. My first one is Pieces of Her. It's a thriller series written by Karen Slaughter. Netflix is adapting it. And now Karen Slaughter is one of those authors that has been on my to-read list forever. And people always recommend her. But for some reason, I have yet to pick up a book by her. So I'm intrigued. I'm going to watch it. But I'm not going to read the book. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not going to read it. And if it's a series, I'm definitely not going to read a series at this point.
Yeah. No, that's too much hassle.
Yeah. So I guess it all takes place in a sleepy Georgia town, when a random act of violence sets off in a chain of events for this 30-year-old woman and her mother. So they go on a dangerous journey across America searching for answers and hidden things about their family. So, yay, fun.
That'll be either really good or really cheesy. And like you, I might watch the show, or I might just wait and let you tell me, yay or nay, and I'll just,
Yeah. So it drops on March 4th. And the thing is, though, I am a full supporter of, three strikes, you're out. So I will give something 3 episodes. Sometimes the first episode isn't always that great. So I'll give it 3, but I will drop it. If it's bad, I'm not going to continue just because I started it. So I'll let you know how the first 3 go.
That's good. Yeah. And you said it's coming to Netflix?
Yes, Netflix it
Netflix
is.
Can be kind of good. So we'll see. Yeah.
They take risk. They take some risk.
They do.
Yeah. But they also put out things like that one cheesy show with the 3 women in Georgia or wherever, and it's so sugary sweet. It's like a Lifetime movie. It makes me want to gag.
Sweet Magnolias. That is actually based off of a series by, I think it's Robin Carr, maybe. Yeah, no, it's a whole thing.
But the crazy thing is, I actually watched the first season, and I'm like, I don't know why I watched that. So the second season came on. I said, well, let me try it. And I just rolled my eyes the entire first episode. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm tapping out. Like, I don't know if this is even more cheesy than the first season. I can't do it. But, y'all know I like darker stuff.
Skip the books,
lately.
Skip the TV shows, skip it all.
Right. So what's up on your list? What's first on to go?
Right. My first one is a little bit of a stretch because it already came out, but it came out earlier this month, early February 2022. So I'm eking it by. Sorry, not sorry. But it's Reacher, which is based off of Kill Floor by Lee Child. Now, I rarely read books by men. I have no desire to ever pick up a book by Lee Child. I have heard he's, a typical white male author who's very sexist against his female characters. So hard pass. I'm about halfway through this show right now, and it is boring. It is terrible. There's no plot. It is just, this man has the emotional range of a fucking teaspoon. And I roll my eyes and laugh so hard at it.
Wait, you're halfway through and you don't like it. I finished it and I liked it.
It's very pretty. Oh, you liked it?
I did like it, but I did not read those books. That's a series, and that was the first book in a series. Yeah. I have watched the Tom Cruise version of this character on his movies. Uh-huh. And I did not like this actor before. He was like in this DC thing that my husband had me watching, and I just did not really like his character. I thought he couldn't act. And I still kind of think he can't act, but the entertainment value is high.
Mm-hmm. It is high. Yeah. No, but last night I watched the episode where he was like, my brother is dead. I am sad. And then I met you and I got better. And I almost fell out of my chair laughing so hard because I was like, this is supposed to be your big emotional reveal. I met you and I got better. I can't. I'm sorry. So, meh on the show. I'll finish it. It's ridiculous. But yeah, no, I'm never picking up a Lee Child book. I just don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to. I won't. And actually, of all people, someone at my job said that they read all of those books because their father got them into it. Of course, it was a white male, of course, but he loved the books and he loved this series. He loved it. So
that sounds about white.
I'll have to take his word on the similarities. He actually reread the book before he watched the show. That's something like we would do. And he was able to tell me all of the differences. I said, wow, he had like a list. It's okay. Perfection. You go with that. You go, boy. But I won't be reading that book.
Yeah.
Y'all, if you watched Reacher, let us know if you're pro or anti-Reacher.
Yes, let us know.
At least the Amazon Prime version, right?
Yes, it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Okay, next up is a also popular season 2 show coming back, and that is Bridgerton season 2. Comes out March 25th on Netflix, and I will be watching, as I said in a previous podcast, we reviewed Bridgerton book versus movie, available in our stream, the podcast feed if you want to find it. But I didn't love the book. I didn't love that first book. And I said I would not read any more Julia Quinn books. I'm done with it. But I love the spin that Shonda Rhimes and her people have put on it for Netflix. So I will watch season 2. I just won't be reading book 2.
So I'm flipped. I'm pretty sure I'm going to read the book. I don't think I'm going to watch the TV show because the actor who played the brother, who's the main character in the second book in the second season, annoyed me so much in the first season that I was like, no, I don't want to watch him. And all three of the brothers like look alike, so I don't really care about any of them. I want the Duke, but I don't know if he's coming back or not. Like, I just
not immediately. If he does, he might have a cameo.
Yeah, which is typical for these kinds of books. But I loved season 1 because of him and the stuff they did with the Queen. And eventually they're going to have a spin-off show about the Queen, which I will definitely watch. But I just don't know if I want to watch Bridgerton. Like, meh.
I'm going to watch it. But if it's bad, I'll quit it, y'all. You know, if it's bad, I'll quit. But I do wonder, like, there was this little teeny hiccup about, you know, the whole issue or topic of consent. You know, that little bit. So I wonder if they're going to stay away from that, if book 2 has any of that. You know, I'm going to be looking for it in the show. Like, if anything pops out as, like, not really good. Like, you know, those old
I haven't read the book yet, so I don't know if that was an issue in the book or not. I haven't heard anybody talking about it, but
because it was in the book 1. It was like,
it was
notable. Like, ouch.
Very apparent and very over the top in the book, and like should have been dealt with differently in the book. And they had the opportunity to do that with the show, and they didn't. So
like, yikes. Let's just hope there's no more of that. But I'm gonna check it out though.
Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think.
I will.
Okay, so I hope I don't get a lot of hate for this, but Vampire Academy, my Rochelle Mead.
Oh, I loved that series. I loved it so much. But it's been a long, long time since I read it. Long time.
So I remember trying to read it in high school, and I don't think I ever got past chapter 1.
Oh, I loved it.
Like, I don't think I ever, like, book 1, chapter 1. I don't even know if I finished chapter 1. So I tried it 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Did not like it. It's becoming a TV show on Peacock. I cannot find an official release date yet, but they're saying 2022. So sometime this year, Vampire Academy is going to come out. And I'm really excited to see what they're doing with vampires in 2022. Like,
I am hopeful for this show because Julie Plec is the producer. She's the same one that did Vampire Diaries and the originals. And I love that stuff. It was so good to me. So I'm hopeful that she will give the Vampire Academy the proper treatment, because that attempt of a movie that they did was garbage. They did a movie a couple, 5-6 years ago. It was trash.
Yeah. I remember everybody talking about how trashy the movie was. Didn't watch it because I had no desire to, because I didn't like the book. But now that it's like a TV show, there's good producers on it. I'm hopeful that there might be some good writing. And I will definitely give it a try. If I love it, I will binge it all. If I hate it, I will tell you.
You know, the whole thing is going to be up to the actors that they pick. Because honestly, Rose and Dimitri are the glue of that series. And if Dimitri is fucking ugly, oh my God. I'm going to be like, what? WTF? It's being turned off. Like, if I can't root for Rose and Dimitri, it's over. We're done. So it's really important that they nail the casting. So
absolutely. Yes.
Let's all cross our fingers. All right. So my next one is The Midnight Club, which is based on a teen horror series by Christopher Pike. I did not read it, but the Netflix original series is coming from Mike Flanagan. He is the creator of The Haunting, which I loved. I love The Haunting. He also did, what was that one about the church and the
Midnight Mass?
Midnight Mass, which I enjoyed. Yes. So I've been liking his track record. He's good. So, you know, I think he could pull off The Midnight Club. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. I don't even know a lot of the details. It doesn't have a release date yet, but I'm for it just because Mike Flanagan's attached to it. And I know it's like horror.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I loved Midnight Mass, so I would absolutely give this a shot. If it's too scary, I will tap out immediately. But no, that sounds fantastic. So I need to add that to my to watch list.
Yes. Love it. What's your next one?
Okay, so the next one is Uglies by Scott Westerfield, which is coming to Netflix as a TV show sometime late 2022. Again, there's no official release. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Release date. I can speak, maybe, possibly. Words are hard. Okay, release date, but late 2022. So when I was in high school, everybody loved Scott Westerfield. Like all of the girls are reading Uglies. It was the hot thing. Everybody was reading it. I read one of his other books, Midnight something, where, I don't know. It was weird. I didn't like it. It was kind of sexist. It was gross.
Oh, no.
And so I quit. And I never picked up another book by him. But everybody keeps talking about it. I'm like, okay, it's been a freaking decade. I think I will finally, give him a shot by watching this TV show on Netflix and hopeful it's good, maybe. But I'm never going to pick up another one of his books. I was burned too badly in high school.
I actually picked up the Uglies at a used book sale, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago. It sat on my shelf until I gave it away to the library. I mean, I had all the intention of trying it. But every time I looked at that cover put me off. Something about that cover, I'm like, this doesn't look good at all. It's going to be whitewashed. It's going to be, nothing was pulling me. And so I'm like, I'm not reading that book. I gave it away. But that's dystopia, that whole dystopia trend when everybody was into that. So I'll try it. Obviously, it's about plastic surgery and stuff, if I remember correctly. Like, aren't people trying to look a certain way? And if you don't, then you're ugly.
Everybody's ugly, and you have to, plastic surgery yourself to be the perfect, beautiful person, which is very apropos for our society. Yes, I like the stance and the statements it's making, but I just didn't like his style of writing.
Yeah.
So no, I will not pick it up.
The show will update what they think beauty is, and maybe everyone will look a little different. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I hope so. Again, there's a lot more diversity in 2022 than a white man would write in 2010 or whatever it was. Earlier than that, probably.
Yikes. I haven't even heard of anything with his name on it lately. Has he even been writing, I wonder?
I don't think so, but I don't look for him or pay attention to him.
Yeah. Got it. I understand. Okay, so I'll mark that too whenever it comes out. What network did you say is doing that?
It's coming to Netflix. Which is, again, why I'm kind of hopeful, because Netflix is usually kind of good. So maybe it'll be good.
In my opinion, I watch a lot of Netflix. They've definitely had a lot more wins than losses when it comes to original series. They do. Yeah. So there's some hope there.
Definitely. Yeah. Yes, there's definitely hope.
All right. So my next one is The Black Phone, which is a supernatural horror film directed by Scott Derrickson, who I'm not sure what else he's done, but the original short story was written by Joe Hill, and I have read a couple of things by Joe Hill. And if you don't know who Joe Hill is, he is Stephen King's son. So he is full on horror. I've read a couple things by him. And so I'm into it. And the trailer is out for this one. It comes out, I don't think they had a date in the trailer, but obviously it is this year since they have an actual trailer. The movie is coming out of Universal Pictures, and it looks effing scary. So okay, this is the trailer, y'all. So this kid, I guess there's this person that is snatching people, and they're like, oh, who's gonna take that? They're talking shit, who gets snatched? Who is this? Is this a myth or something? And then this kid, so this guy, he's outside of the kidnapper van, but he's got groceries all over the ground. The kid approaches him and he's like, he looks weird. Like, he's picking stuff up all slow. And the kid's like, do you need help? He's like, oh no. And then he gets the kid, end up getting the kid. And then the kid's like in this house. He can't get out. And there's this black phone in the basement with him. And every time, it seems like when he picks up the phone, someone is talking to him and telling him things to do. Like, use this weapon over here to stab him when he comes in. And then he sees this weapon. Or do this or do that. I'm like, oh my God, is this paranormal? It will say supernatural horror. Are these dead people that the guy has killed? I'm like, what is it? I'm like, I'm invested. I'm not going to read that book, but I'm invested. I want to see what this movie looks like. It's just right up my alley.
Scary as shit.
Yes. So
I will let you watch it and tell me if it's good or not. Like, it sounds really good and really creepy. I usually don't do horror, so I might pass on both the book and the movie. But if it's really good, I might watch it. Because I don't know if you've been watching Lock and Key on Netflix. Yeah. That's another Joe Hill thing. Mm-hmm. That's pretty meh.
It's tame. It's tame to me.
But it's YA, not supposed to be like super scary. And I could rant about it for a while.
Oh, I should mention Ethan Hawke plays the Grabber. That's his name as the cast, the Grabber. And he looks fucking scary in that trailer. I'm like, oh my God. Apparently it was supposed to come out last year, but COVID. So, there's the date, June 24th. So it's a summer release. So I'll let you know how it goes. If I end up having to wait for it to come to like TV, it's going to be one of those things that I watch like at 9 a.m. So I have the rest of the day to for it to wear off of me.
Yes. Super smart.
Yeah. That's my trick, y'all. If y'all want to watch something scary, do it at the butt crack of dawn when the sun is high in the sky. You got all the windows open, and then you have the rest of your day to forget about it.
That's smart. That's a smart way to do it. Okay. So remember last month when we talked about Jenny Han?
Yeah.
She has a new TV show coming.
Oh.
Based off of her book, The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Oh, God.
So it's a TV show coming to Amazon Prime sometime in 2022. Again, I cannot find any official release dates for any of these things. Okay. They were talking about filming in 2021. Like, it should be coming out soon. We should be hearing more about this. But, last month we talked about Jenny and All the Boys I Loved. We both loved that movie, and the book was not our cup of tea.
Yeah.
So 100% I'm like, yes, I will watch this TV show and I will not pick up this book because I know that I just don't like her style of writing. I love the story she tells, but the style of writing, no.
What's the company?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon. Okay, so Amazon, I have a love-hate relationship with Amazon. I feel like Amazon has more misses than I'd like.
Yeah. Usually what they produce is not up to par. Like, they want to be really good. And again, like Reacher, it's decent. I wouldn't maybe recommend it to anybody, but I'm watching it. I haven't watched many of their other things that I think are good, but no, it's Jenny Han. And I'm like, yes. If it's anything like To All the Boys I Loved, it'll be super cute. I'll try it. I'll hopefully love it, but I will avoid the book.
Same.
I'll tell everybody else to read it. Or like, hey, if you like boring talking about dinner 5 times a chapter, you might enjoy it. But nope. TV show all the way.
I'm with you there. All right, you guys, let's take a quick break for the commercials. When we come back, we have several more adaptations to share with you. And we also have a handful adaptations that are coming out that we have actually read. So stay tuned. Today's episode is brought to you by the Shelf Addiction merch store. Check out all the bookish t-shirts, notebooks, mugs, and more. Don't miss out on these original designs, perfect for any book nerd. Support the podcast and visit shelfaddiction.com/merch and pick up your next favorite bookish item. Welcome back, guys. We're going to jump right back in because we've got quite a few to cover still. So my next one is The Lost Apothecary. I know I said that weirdly. I can't help it. It sounded a little weird coming out of my mouth.
Okay.
But it's fine.
So weird, but I don't.
Yeah. It's Sarah Penner's novel.
Fine. It's all fine.
Yeah, it's good. I have not read the novel. It's set in 18th century London. And I don't usually gear toward historical that much, but when it's laced with fantasy, I will try it. And, you know, it's about, like, I think witches and stuff. And like I said, I don't know, like, the details. I just remember when this book came out, it had a gorgeous cover. I was really drawn to it. Everyone was talking about it. So, so it's going to be turned into a drama series by Fox. So if it's going to be on the Fox network, that means it's definitely going to be tame. Nothing too crazy, I'm thinking.
That is crazy. I don't know. They usually don't do drama very well. I guess Chicago Med and all of that stuff is drama. But I don't know if I would trust them with historical fantasy drama.
No. Yeah, it's weird. Actually, I want to click on the book series real quick to make sure. Yeah, no one's actually even talking about what the book is about. It's so weird. I might have to go to Goodreads for that one. Yeah, okay, so a female apothecary, good Lord, that word, secretly dispenses poisons to liberate women from the men who have wronged them.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm down for poisoning awful men.
Sounds good.
That sounds like a fun.
Absolutely.
That sounds fun. So yeah, it's tagged as fantasy on Goodreads. So I don't know. We shall see how the adaptation goes, but I'm definitely going to try it because that story sounds like interesting to me.
Yeah, no, that sounds really interesting. I'm just hung up on Fox, like the TV station on cable is doing this.
Not cable, Fox Network. So like think 911, like you said, Chicago Med or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
But still, like, do they have the budget? Do they have the ability to pull this off? I'm very dubious.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like, if it was Netflix, Amazon Prime, I'd be like, yeah, no, you can do fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could win fantasy with Amazon Prime, but you can do fantasy. I'm dubious, but I will definitely check it out because I'm intrigued. Like, the whole premise sounds really interesting.
Okay, so Fox also has done, obviously, 911, The Resident, The Cleaning Lady, which is a drama that I like. It's about this woman who, you know, she's like trying to save her son and gets wrapped up in like the mob. And she's a doctor. Mm-hmm. So they've done Our Kind of People. It seems like they've been dipping their toe into the more non-medical dramas in the last 2 years. They've been trying things on for size. So maybe. I'm not going to count them out yet. You know, they don't have a lot of them. They have a handful, but a lot of medical-based stuff, a lot of reality TV on there, you know, like Hell's Kitchen and So You Think You Can Dance and all that crap's on Fox. So yeah, I mean, I'm not ready to count them out yet, but you're right. I agree with you. What's that budget going to look like?
Yeah.
So we shall see.
My next one is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard.
Oh,
it's going to be a TV show on Peacock.
By
I never
Elizabeth
watched
their
Banks.
shows.
They've done some good things. I binge watched 5 Eva which was super adorable. And Sarah Bareilles is just like the cutest person ever. Mm-hmm. But no, I feel like Red Queen, the book, is just another one of those angsty fantasy love triangle. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're stuck between the good and the bad, but I love all of these boys. I'm like, I don't want to read the book, but I'm very curious about this TV show, and I'm kind of hopeful because I know Elizabeth Banks was part of the Hunger Games, and those movies turned out pretty good. So I feel like this TV show would be like maybe less angsty than the books. I don't know. I haven't read the books, so I don't know.
So I read The Red Queen back in 2015 when it first came out. When it was all hyped, okay. I read it. And I remember liking it. So I started book 2 in 2016 when it came out. And I found it unbearable. I couldn't finish it. So I'm like, I don't really like the characters. There were so many things that I just did not like. And everyone raved about these books. It ended up being 4 books long. And I never went back to it. I never tried again. But that doesn't mean the show won't be good. Because it's that thing. It's that same dystopia feeling. You know, that vibe. Mm-hmm. It's the world is divided between red or silver. You're red or silver. You know, higher commoners, low people, high people. It's that whole thing. And it could be good. It could not. I don't know. And I honestly, there have been a couple of things that have appealed to me when I see trailers for Peacock. But I'm like, I don't have that. And I thought you had to pay for Peacock. Don't you have to pay for it?
No, Peacock is free. But it's free if you have commercials. If you want commercial free, then you have to start paying for it, which makes sense. But yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll try it. But yeah, that second book, it let me down. So.
Yeah. No, I never picked up the book. I ignored the hype. And I was like, yeah, it feels like so many other books that I'm just going to pass.
They all had that same formula, that same vibe, you know, all of those books coming out at that time. So.
Oh, yeah.
She was a little late to the party, though, because I think at that point, all of the Hunger Games and Divergent hoopla was over. So she was on the tail end of it, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next one is The Wonder. And I like that Florence Pugh is set to star in it. She is the new Black Widow. She was in...
Ooh.
So if you watch Black Widow, she's the sister. And she was also in the show with... What's the guy with the arrow? What's that shit called? Oh, my God. Hawkeye. Yes, thank you. She was in Hawkeye. And so I was like, oh, I like her. And I like that this novel was by Emma Donoghue. Now, I read her book Room, and I liked the adaptation. I liked the book, and I liked the adaptation. It was very serious subject matter. So this one is supposed to be a suspense novel. I don't know much about the guts of the book, but I like Florence Pugh. I like suspense. I like that Netflix is doing it, so they're probably gonna spice it up. You know, they're calling it a psychological thriller on Netflix is, so they must have changed a couple things. I don't know. I think it's going to be good. There's no release date right now, but I'm excited to check it out. So it's going to be a film, I think, not a TV show. Yeah, it's a film.
No, that sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
So my next one is a movie too. And I know the world is absolutely obsessed with Hocus Pocus. I don't really understand why. I love Hocus Pocus. I love the movie, but I don't understand the obsession. Like I've seen some insane parties for Hocus Pocus where I'm just like, why are you this obsessed? But okay, you do you, boo.
Yeah.
So Hocus Pocus 2 is coming to Disney Plus fall 2022, and it's based off of a book that somebody wrote, and I don't remember the author's name, but she wrote it for Disney and now they're going to produce the movie. And I'm just like, I will watch it because I liked the original. I'm kind of upset that you had to make a sequel because, you know, all the witches died, but they're all coming back.
Oh, gosh.
But I'm excited to see Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker and what's her name as witches in modern day. Like, I'm excited, but also like it's not going to be good, and I just don't.
It's going to be different. These women are a lot older than when they did Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, the original came out in the early 90s.
Yeah. So did the author actually write a second book, or they just okay?
Yeah, no, there is a second book. Let me see if I can pull it up. But there's a second book that, you know, Disney asked her to write and publish. And so everybody's like, ooh, Hocus Pocus 2. And now they're making...
I hate to say that, but I feel like because the studio wanted her to write some original material is shitty. And it could be okay, but that's my assumption because that's what happened with Ready Player One. He had this deal. They wanted him to do Ready Player Two. And that book was, I couldn't even get into it. I was all excited. I bought the freaking hardcover.
Ooh.
I didn't even finish the book.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like when people are writing a book with a TV show or movie in mind, when that's not how they normally write, they're not script writers or they don't write cinematically, it's going to be shitty. And they're just trying to come up with storyline that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it wasn't natural. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, never it also feels like it's fan fiction. Like, Disney says, hey, write this book about this movie that, you know, we made 20 years ago. And she just gets to make stuff up about the character. Like, I don't know. I am not going to pick up the book, but I will watch the movie. And I will probably avoid all Hocus Pocus parties because some people go hardcore. And I'm just like,
I don't get it. I mean, the movie was fine.
Yeah, but it was fine. It was cute. I will watch it, but I don't need to have like themed parties about this movie. Not to crap on what you like. Like, you do you. Enjoy it. Go for your themed parties. I'm just kind of, no, I'll do something else. Thank you.
Yeah, they have a fandom for sure. They have fans, big fans. Yeah.
Big hardcore fans.
So it might do well just because of that, because of all the diehards that love the first movie.
I'm sure they will like break some sort of streaming record on this. I'm just, not going to pick up the book. I'll watch it when I watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, I'm excited, but I'm not hopeful, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun, but I don't think it'll be a great movie.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So my next one, I kind of feel the same way about the books. They have a huge fan base. There's a fandom and people are berserk. And that is Fire and Blood, George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones prequel. Of course, HBO Max is doing it. It's going to be named Game of Thrones House of the Dragon.
Ooh.
Yes. So I adored Game of Thrones on HBO. And like so many of the fans, I was pissy about that ending. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, that ending was atrocious. I never watched Game of Thrones. I've tried reading it. It was terrible. I never watched a single episode. But when the finale was happening, I was like watching everybody fall apart on Twitter over it.
Yeah. I was with them. I'm like, what the hell is happening? This is it's a dumpster fire. And the honest to God truth is they ran out of source material. So they started writing their own shit. And it was awful.
Because they can't write.
Right. So now that he has written the prequel, they're like, okay, we actually have more source material. Now we can expand on this and it will be good. So I'm excited. But just like the other, I have not read any of his books. I think based on what I've heard from other people who have read them, I would have big issues with a lot of the things going on in the books. So I'm choosing not to even deal with it.
So I don't know if I've told you this, but I tried reading the first Game of Thrones books, and I got 300 pages into this book, which was maybe 30% because it's a 900, 1,000 page long book. Like, I gave it a shot. I gave it 300 pages. Yeah. I saw rape. I saw incest. I saw more incest. I saw them killing dogs. I don't think I saw a single person of color. And I was like, I'm done. I can't.
Yeah, there's no people of color. Not really. But you would not like House of the Dragon because the dragons are the Targaryens and they are about that incest life. That is why they keep their bloodline pure, and that's why they are able to control dragons. So they are about that. And so were the, what do you call those? Jamie and the Lannisters. They are about that incest life. At least the twins were. They were about that incest life. I can't,
why?
Right?
Just why do you have to write that? Why?
I know. And even at the end, poor Jon Snow and what's her face, Daenerys Targaryen, they hooked up and they didn't know they were related. That's his fucking aunt. He slept with his aunt, and everybody was like, "Oh no!" Because in my mind, I'm like, "Don't do it," because we knew who his real mother was, so the audience knew. They didn't know.
That was bad writing because they never turned it into anything. Like they just went, "Oh no, he's sleeping with his aunt, more incest."
Yeah.
And then they just kill everybody off at the end, and like it doesn't matter that he slept with her or not. Like there was no baby.
It made no sense.
Like it made no sense. And that was the bad writing that these freaking directors were doing. Like they wanted
did it for shock value. Yes, Jinx.
They just wanted shock value. They're like, yes, let's do the incest. Yes, let's do the rape for shock value. It's necessary to our plot because we say so. And I'm like, no, pass, hard pass. Don't want any of this.
Like, honest to God, like I remember when that happened, me and Kevin, we watched that show together. We were both like, no, God, no, no, anybody else, but it was, I got laughs out of it. It ended up being comical, but I'm like, what the? So, but yeah, I will watch House of the Dragon, and I just know what to expect. But because there is source material, I expect it to be better. Because, HBO, I think they are being more cognizant about their F-ups, right? Because they already recorded, they started with another story. They were going to do another story first before the Targaryen story. I remember because I was posting about the actors they were picking. They started recording it, and I didn't like it. They picked Naomi Watts for the main heroine of the story. I can't remember whose story it was, but she was in it. And I'm like, every movie she's in, I fucking hate. I don't like her. So they recorded 3 episodes and spent millions of dollars and trashed it. They threw it in the garbage. It was canceled. So yes, it was actually called, I'm gonna find it, Blood Moon is what it was called. Anyway, they probably had some people, they had some test viewers. They got some feedback, and they said, they pulled it. They said, F it, this is not good. We're not doing it. So they filmed all this in 2019 and pulled it all. And everything Game of Thrones is this huge, expensive extravaganza of things. So they had to trash it, but that was a smart thing, because if it was garbage, no one would watch House of the Dragon. So it was smart.
Yeah. Yes. So. Very smart on their part.
That's my Game of Thrones rant. It's over. We can move on.
Sticking with the fantasy theme, my next one on my list is the new Lord of the Rings TV show coming to Amazon Prime, September 2022.
All right.
So it's not technically the Lord of the Rings and the trilogy that we watched with Frodo taking the ring to get destroyed. It's the prequel stuff about all of the elves and humans and everybody getting their rings to be controlled by Sauron. So it's like 2,000 years earlier.
Okay.
And technically, yeah, like you could read the Silmarillion, you could read all of J.R.R. Tolkien's like world building books and kind of piece together what this story is going to be about.
Yeah.
I am not going to do that.
Yeah.
I read The Lord of the Rings when I was 11. It was fine, but I've never picked it up again. I watched that trilogy all the damn time. And I'm cautiously hopeful for Amazon Prime to pull this off. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's on my watch list.
It up.
I'll watch it, but I too, like you, I'm cautiously optimistic.
I am excited about the music because they have Howard Shore doing the symphony again, which he did for the trilogy. And I love the music for The Lord of the Rings is just on fire. So the fact that he's doing this music, I am here for it. I will have new soundtracks to listen to all the time. Even if the show is terrible, I will listen to him play the Hobbit music and whatever else he does.
Oh, I love when there's good soundtrack. Like, I mean, not to bite off, but Game of Thrones has great soundtrack. It's a great soundtrack. You can just play that thing and let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah, I love a good cinematic soundtrack. It's amazing. So yeah, if they are doing that, it should be something about it will be good.
Something about it will be good. Yeah. And the trailer just released last week, I think. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if I want to watch a trailer. I might want to go in just totally blind and like, okay, sure, let's see what you do.
Well, this early, it must just be a teaser trailer. It can't be a full-length trailer. It's kind of early.
Yeah, I think it's more teaser stuff, but I'm just like, we'll see.
Yeah.
And I'm cautiously hopeful, but I'm not really setting very high expectations.
Right. Which is probably best because, you get too excited, too ramped up, and it fails. You're going to be all mad.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay, y'all, let us know if you're watching either one of these fantasy adaptations because, we want to know. We want to know if you're watching the fantasy prequels. Yes. Okay, so my last one on my list is Deep Water, and it was written by Patricia Highsmith. I have not read it, but it sounds like a erotic thriller. Now, this is not something I normally read, which is why I'm not reading the book. But when I saw the trailer, honest to God, you guys, when I saw the trailer at first, I'm like, what is this about? I couldn't tell what it was about. So this actress and Ben Affleck are like sitting on a picnic blanket, and they're like kind of talking to each other kind of close, getting closer to each other. She's like asking if she's like a bad person or something. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. And he's like looking like he's about to kiss her, and she's looking all lusty. And I'm like, what's happening? So I looked it up because I hate those trailers and you can't tell what the fuck is going on. So I look it up, and apparently the film and the book focuses on a married couple that, in order to avoid the messiness of divorce, partake in a somewhat open relationship where the wife is allowed to see other people. But in a twist of events, the people around them begin turning up dead.
Oh, shit.
So again, Ben Affleck is in it, and it's on Hulu. So it's a Hulu movie release, and it airs March 18th. So I was utterly confused by that trailer. I'm like, what is happening? What is this about? And so it made me go looking. So if that's what they intended, then they did the job was done.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. That's definitely what they wanted.
I'm like, erotic thriller. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be one of those things where you probably want to watch alone. It's probably going to be some stuff happening. You'd be like, you don't want anyone else in the room looking at your expression as the things are happening. That's what I'm guessing.
Probably.
Yeah. Do you have another?
Okay. I have some stuff that I've read already. If we want to go to that part of the list next.
Yes, y'all. Let's switch gears. So these are movies or TV adaptations that we have already read and we also anticipate watching. All right, Casey, hit it.
Yes. So the first one is The Selection by Kira Cass, which is maybe coming to Netflix finally, hopefully. This has been teased since like 2015 or 2016. We constantly thought we were getting a TV show or a movie, and it's finally maybe actually happening again. I read the first book back in high school again, and it was just kind of, it's that same theme of, dystopian, the world is ending, all these girls have to dress up really pretty to win the prince's hand, but she's in love with the bodyguard or something, the whatever. I did not really like the book. Like, it was meh. I never read anything else in the series. I'm tentatively excited to maybe finally watch it on Netflix. Like, I think Netflix might actually do something good with this.
So The Selection was on my TBR as well. It was just like those other books. I saw the girls with the pretty gowns. I'm like, oh, this can be kind of like, people were saying it was like Bachelorette-ish kind of. And I'm like, oh yeah, cute. And at that point I was kind of over it. So I just didn't.
Yeah. Like I
didn't partake. Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. Like, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't good enough for me to ever pick up book 2.
Yeah.
Or, the spin-off series or anything else by Kira Cass. Like, it was meh.
But you will watch this adaptation though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will definitely watch it, because they've been saying it's coming to theaters since like 2015 or 2016. It's been a good long while that they've been teasing a movie. And now they're like, okay, so no, it really finally is absolutely coming to Netflix now.
That has all the signs to me that it's going to suck. Because I feel like when something takes that long, they've had people review it, they've trashed parts, they've refilmed parts.
I feel like they've been passing it around to different studios, and like Netflix finally got its hands on it.
Okay.
And like, again, Netflix usually does some good stuff. So that's why I'm a little more hopeful.
So it wasn't like underway. People were just passing around the scripts.
No, it was being passed around between studios and different places. And Netflix finally got it.
Okay.
So,
well, okay. In that case, maybe.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little more hopeful. Because I'm like, okay, I think, if somebody passed on it so many times and somebody, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, definitely that's going to be on my list. You might have to remind me. Well, I might find it when the trailer starts dropping. If it actually
comes out, like, it might be another.
They might pass it on again.
Years.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I mean, because who knows? Maybe they have a hard time casting it, or maybe they think it might be too. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why things, the rights expire, and then someone else can get it.
Yes.
So
yes,
I don't know. All right, so one of mine that I have read, and it will come out this year. It's an oddball thing. I only read it in because of book club. I would have never picked this book up on my own, but it was actually good. And so that is Pachinko by Min Ji Lee, and it is about Koreans living in Japan. And they run these pachinko parlors. And they're like seen as lower class citizens because they're not Japanese. So it comes out on March 25th. It's on Apple TV. I don't know if it is going to be in Japanese or if it's going to be in English or if it's going to be dubbed. I don't know. But when I saw the quick trailer, I'm like, I'll try it. Because I have watched plenty of things on Netflix that are dubbed. Like they're speaking whatever language, German or whatever, and I'll watch it anyway because it's dubbed. So I might try it because I like the story, but this is like a real one-off book for me. Like I would never have picked this up on my own. I just happen to like it for book club.
Yeah, no, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
And it's always fun where there's something like so far outside of your wheelhouse that you would never pick it up, but then you pick it up and you absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
No, that sounds fantastic.
Do you have another?
Yes. So I stuck with basically YA and stuff I read in high school for this whole list. Sarah Dessen is finally getting another movie for one of her books, and it's Along for the Ride, which I am excited about.
Along for the Ride. Okay.
Sarah Dessen was like the YA teenage girl author in the early 2000s. And I think she's still kind of popular too. No, I'm not sure. And they made a movie about one of her books with Mandy Moore in like 2005 or something, and it sucked. It was terrible.
Oh, God.
And so none of her books have ever been made into a movie since.
Okay.
But now as I was scrolling through all these lists, because I was looking at YA adaptations, which there are so many coming out, obviously, it said Sarah Dessen's getting another movie. And it's Along for the Ride. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, finally. Fingers crossed it'll actually be a decent movie. But, I'm excited. My teenage heart is just like, over the moon.
Huh. Well, I actually have not read a single thing by her. So I looked her up right quick and I'm like, oh, yeah. No shade, but this is not something I would say, oh, yeah, let me read.
Yeah, no, I would never recommend this to you because it is pure 100% teenage girl angst. Almost all of her heroines are like 16, 17. They've gone through something traumatic. They're super angsty. They meet the perfect boy. Everything falls into place. Like, this was peak 2000 girl romance. Like, and her writing style was actually really good. It wasn't cheesy. It wasn't corny. I loved it. So this is more for like my 15-year-old self to be enjoying this book.
So you'll be having lots of nostalgia then.
Yes. This is definitely a nostalgic, like, I want to watch this for my teenage self.
Okay.
And again, like, I would never recommend this to you because this is not in your wheelhouse at all.
I'd be like, Casey, why'd you do this to me? Do you hate me? Why did you tell me to read this?
Yeah, I don't hate you. I won't make you read it. I'll give you something better to read, not Sarah Dessen.
Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I don't know if I will watch that, but maybe. I don't know.
I mean, if it's cute, I'll be like, if you want a cute rom-com, watch it. Mm-hmm. But if it's not, I'll be like, all right, just pass. Let's just pretend this didn't happen.
Yeah. Okay. Noted. I'll let you tell me if I should watch it, and then I'll watch it if I get the vibe.
Yes.
All right. So my next one, I read this, and when it came out in 2015, the cover art grabbed my attention. It has this black cover with yellow words and a black rose. It is Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll. It kind of had a lot of buzz. It's a thriller mystery. Had a lot of buzz right when it first came out. And it looks like Netflix is doing its adaptation, although I'm unclear if it's a movie or a show. I think it would do better as a movie, personally. And I really liked it. I actually gave it 5 stars.
Wow.
Yeah. I really love this for some reason. And I actually did a video review of it. If you want to hop on over to my YouTube channel and check out this old ass video review, have at it. But I really remember enjoying it. I thought, the main character has this huge secret, something from her past, and it's like a lot of twists and turns. And if, what will happen if the secret gets out? And it's a girl who came from like a prestigious like school. You know, she had this horrible public humiliation thing happen to her, and she reinvented herself as a new person. You know, she didn't look how she used to look. She didn't dress how she used to dress. She's very successful with a glamorous job, a fancy wardrobe, blue blood fiance. You know, she's got all the things that the white blonde women want.
Yes.
And now that is in danger. Dun, dun, dun. So I liked it. Check out my old ass, I repeat again, old ass YouTube video. No shame in my game. It's fine. I was about that life for a minute. It's still up. I didn't pull any of that old ass shit down. It's still there. But yeah, so now that, you know, Netflix has its hands on it, it's in the Netflix family, I think it should be a good adaptation. If nothing else, it's going to be like lots of drama with some probably shocking turns. You're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe. It's going to be one of those type of deals.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, definitely good. Did you have one more? No.
Nope, my list is done.
I have one more, and I think it counts for both of us.
Okay.
Okay, that one is the very last one. We are ending on a note that y'all can appreciate. Shadow and Bone Season 2.
Oh my God.
Yes. Lee Bardugo wrote those books. And y'all, if y'all go back into the archives of the podcast, you'll find out how we felt about these books.
This was the series where we created this segment, Casey's favorite plot hole, because there were so many plot holes. I had to pick my favorite.
Yes. And so we read those books.
I hope.
We even read what was the other book we read just for Patreon? We read
the other series which they put in the TV show with Kaz.
Yes, with Kaz. Yes, Six of Crows. So
yes, Six of Crows.
Yeah, so they merged. You guys, if you haven't watched the season or haven't read all of these books, the show combined these two series into one. So,
which they needed because the books are boring as fuck.
Yes. So they
needed to combine this.
Yes, they did the right thing. So if you want to hop on over to Patreon, you can check it out. It's a Patreon exclusive. Casey and I read Six of Crows and gave our 2 cents on it, you know, in anticipation of this, you know, show being released. So anyway, season 2 is on its way, and I'm excited for season. I thought the show was good.
It was definitely better than the books.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I will watch season 2, but it's definitely better.
I'm definitely watching. I want to see what the Darkling is up to. I want to see the experience between I can't even think of their names right now. Nina and what's his face?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The guy who is like the slave or whatever. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Wasn't he like on a boat or something and they tried to kill each other? Oh, it was. I want to see.
It was a mess.
What's his name? Matthias. Matthias, yes.
Matthias, yes. Oh my God. I will need a refresher. I need to go back and listen to our episode.
I know.
I remember what the fuck
I can send you a private link so you can watch it or listen because it's on Patreon only, y'all. Patreon.
Oh my God.
But I'm excited for it. So I'm like, this is a great one to end on because both of us read this and, you know.
Oh, yeah. At
least one of us will be watching.
To do another Patreon. If we do a Patreon only, I will watch with you.
All right. See, that's something else for y'all to get excited about. Because Casey has said that, I will hold her to it. We will watch it, and it will be a Patreon exclusive. So get excited.
Yes.
Ooh. Yes. Oh, gosh. That was a lot of TV and movies. That's all I have. What about you?
Oh, yeah. That's all I have. And there were so many more. There's so many adaptations coming out. And like, I focused on YA books because I don't know what romances are coming out. I don't know. No, there's so much coming out, and I'm so excited for a lot of it.
I mean, honestly, we could probably do a second part of this later in the year because there were 7 adaptations that I held out of this list, y'all. There were 7 that I held for. Yeah. We could probably revisit this again in another 6 months, 5-6 months or so, when more trailers are out, more stuff is out. Mm-hmm. Because y'all know
more release dates are named, and yeah, because there's stuff that we're like, oh yeah, this was taken, and I'm like, but is it coming out this year, next decade?
Right.
What is happening?
Exactly.
So,
and for some reason, these studios can't seem to get their lives together and make original content, so they are pulling from books all the time.
I'm glad they're pulling from books instead of doing more reality TV, though.
Yeah, which is good. I like a good drama. I like a good scripted show. I love scripted TV because reality TV, y'all, like I used to watch a lot of it. I think I have calmed down a lot because it's kind of become repetitive and it seems all the same. But there was a little glitch during COVID where I watched a lot of reality TV. But
I mean, I binged watched 12 seasons of Ink Master during the COVID shutdown.
Okay, so what tat did you end up getting because of it?
Nothing yet, but I am definitely 1000% going to Kelly Doty at some point in my life and getting an original tattoo from her because she should have won season 8, and I will die on this hill.
She said, I will die on the hill for this.
I will. COVID was a weird time, man. It was weird.
I know, right? Well, at least you didn't come out with like 50 tattoos on the back end of COVID. Like, look at all my tattoos. I'd be like, girl, you lost your mind.
Not yet, but we're only in year 2. Wait till year 5.
I know. Gosh, right? Like, who knows?
It's going to never end, which sucks. But I know. That's a conversation for another time.
It is. So we are going to end things here. Do you have anything else to add before we sign off?
Just that I'm really excited to watch a lot of TV this year.
Yes, it's going to be a good year for Netflix and Hulu and, Amazon.
Peacock. Don't forget Peacock.
Yes, it's going to be a fun year. I really can't wait for the Vampire Academy. I'm so excited. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to today's episode. We appreciate you for being here. As always, thanks a lot. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
If you enjoyed today's episode and would like to show your support, there are a few things you can do. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a positive 5-star review, or like this episode on your favorite podcast player. It seems so simple, but it really helps me out. You can share this podcast with other book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. You can also join the Shelf Addiction Patreon family. For as little as $2 a month, you will help us produce even more awesome content for your ears. You can also consider joining the Shelf Addiction Official Facebook group, where we talk all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction Podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. You can also reach us via email at info@shelfaddiction.com. Thank you for listening.